This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. Are you frustrated by Rolex waitlists that stretch for years? You are not alone. In 2024, the demand for these luxury timepieces remains high. But fear not, watch enthusiasts. There are ways to increase your chances of getting that coveted Rolex on your wrist sooner rather than later. In this video brought to you by the luxury world, we will explore strategies to navigate the waitlist maze, build relationships with authorized dealers, and potentially expedite your Rolex ownership journey. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we recommend doing so to keep up with our future video releases. If you have attempted to buy a new Rolex from an authorized dealer in recent years, you have encountered the Rolex waitlist. It is a system managed differently by each dealer, which determines the order in which customers can buy new Rolex watches. Customers with a strong purchasing history or relationship often have shorter waits than new customers. Watches in high demand typically have longer waitlists, while less popular models may have shorter or no waitlists. With just over a 30% market share, Rolex is the leading luxury watch manufacturer, selling around 1 to 1.3 million watches each year. Although this is a considerable number, it still needs to catch up to the high demand for Rolex watches. The emergence of the Rolex waitlist is a recent development caused by the brand's struggle to keep up with the rising demand for its premium timepieces. The exceptional demand for Rolex watches is fueled by several factors. Primarily, they are celebrated for their technical precision and outstanding craftsmanship. Rolex watches undergo stringent testing to meet high-quality standards, ensuring they are durable and highly accurate. Each approved watch displays the brand's dedication to excellence and carries the iconic crown symbol. Additionally, Rolex watches are built to endure for decades, maintaining their value over time. These attributes make purchasing a Rolex a wise investment in exceptional craftsmanship. What is the length of the waitlist for Rolex? The length of the waitlist for a Rolex watch can vary significantly depending on the model and its popularity. Some models, particularly those that are in high demand, such as the Rolex Submariner, Daytona, and GMT Master 2, can have wait times that extend from several months to several years. The exact wait time can also depend on the location and specific authorized dealer. Due to the high demand and limited production, many authorized dealers maintain long waitlists for certain models, and prospective buyers may need to wait for an extended period before they can purchase their desired timepiece. Which Rolex model has the longest waitlist? The Rolex model with the longest waitlist is the stainless steel Rolex Daytona, reference 126500LN, available with either a black or white dial. This model is produced in extremely limited numbers and often trades for twice its retail price on the pre-owned market. Which Rolex model has the largest waitlist? In 2024, the Rolex Submariner has the largest waitlist. The Submariner collection is the most popular, and the limited number of available references makes the waitlist for each model longer. Expect to wait at least a year for any Submariner variation. Is the Rolex waitlist legitimate? Yes, the Rolex waitlist is legitimate. Some argue it does not exist because preferred clients receive priority, but even they must wait. Each dealer handles the waitlist differently, despite not officially acknowledging it. Dealers have limited inventory to sell, so when new shipments arrive, buyers who come in to pick up their new Rolex have been waiting for it. Analysis of the Rolex waitlist in 2024 based on economic and operational indicators. In 2024, the analysis of the Rolex waitlist reflects both economic and operational indicators. High demand for Rolex watches persists, fueled by their reputation for quality and prestige. Economic factors such as rising wealth and increased interest in luxury goods contribute to the demand. Additionally, Rolex's limited production capacity and careful control over supply create an imbalance between availability and demand. Operationally, Rolex's adherence to stringent quality standards and meticulous craftsmanship contributes to its limited production output. This meticulous approach ensures each timepiece maintains its exacting standards, which further fuels the brand's desirability. Consequently, the waitlist for Rolex watches remains extensive, with some models experiencing particularly long wait times due to their popularity and the brand's controlled production strategy. The Rolex waitlist remains a barrier to purchasing a new Rolex at retail, but economic and operational changes this year are expected to shorten wait times. Rolex authorized dealers began receiving more watches last year due to a new manufacturing facility that increased Rolex's production capacity from 1 million to 1.3 million watches annually. Despite already being the largest luxury watch producer in the world, Rolex expanded production because it was still unable to keep up with global demand. With an additional 300,000 new Rolex watches entering the market each year, availability at retail locations should improve over time. Examining the luxury watch market, the past year has seen a continuous decline in secondary prices for pre-owned Rolex watches, which has persisted into 2024. This decline is driven by increased production and broader economic factors. This trend affects the 2024 Rolex waitlist because it reduces the profitability of flipping a new Rolex at retail. As opportunities for flipping watches for profit diminish, fewer individuals are motivated to join waitlists for that purpose. Consequently, the decrease in flipper activity should help ease waitlist lengths and make it simpler to purchase new Rolex watches at retail in 2024. But for 2018, Rolex authorized dealers had ample inventory available for sale on display. Rolex was in demand, but there was enough supply to satisfy buyers. However, as interest grew in particular models, retailers began reserving those watches for favored clients rather than displaying them for general purchase. By 2020, demand had surged further, and retailers could no longer hide sought-after models because they needed to sell everything available. We can compare the Rolex 2024 waitlist to a clock's pendulum. The pendulum started on one side with plenty of watches available and swung to the other extreme with exceptionally long waitlists. We believe it is now swinging back, but before we see an abundance of Rolex watches in displays, retailers may hold back certain models, or even all watches, in backrooms to uphold the impression of scarcity. It may not be until the end of 2025 that we begin to see a full range of Rolex inventory available for purchase in retail displays. How to bypass the Rolex waitlist in 2024. Navigating a 2024 waitlist may be challenging, but it is likely to be less difficult than in previous years. First, approach your sales associate with sincerity. They want to sell watches to genuine fans of the brand. Second, be upfront about your relationship with the authorized dealer. Not everyone can obtain the highly sought-after stainless steel Daytona. Honest discussions about what is feasible will yield the best outcomes. Third, be patient and understanding throughout the process. Remember, dealers aim to sell as many watches as possible and face significant pressure from clients. They want to accommodate you, so be patient and avoid being overly demanding. How can you join the Rolex waitlist? To join the Rolex waitlist in 2024, simply visit an authorized dealer in person and place an order. While this does not ensure you will be contacted for a purchase, it will add your name to the waitlist. There are strategies mentioned earlier in this video that can increase your chances of obtaining a Rolex and aid your journey. Having a strong relationship with your sales associate or a history of purchases at a store can be beneficial in becoming a preferred client, but it is not solely about financial connections. Providing a meaningful reason for wanting to buy a Rolex, such as for a wedding, retirement, or graduation, can encourage people to assist you. Show genuine interest and enthusiasm for the product, and most individuals will want to help. If necessary, you might be tempted to purchase extra jewelry or less desired watches to gain favor, but this is not advisable for good consumer habits and should be avoided if possible. What are your thoughts on the topic we shared in this video? We would like to hear your thoughts and see your answers in the comments section. Remember to follow us too and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is the luxury world, and we look forward to seeing you again in our future videos.